What's up guys, Devil Dog Gamer here. We're back with some more Rainbow Six and the new Skull Rain DLC is out. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. Down in the description I'll have a link to if you want to check out more about the DLC or the game Rainbow Six. And then also a trailer is popping up now. If you want to see the trailer, check that out. Click that little annotation. Anyways, the Skull Rain DLC adds in a Brazilian operators, and they are from the boat division, and I'm gonna butcher this name because I'm very, very bad and I'm not good with Portuguese. But BOPE stands for Batalhão de Operações Policiais Especiais. Basically translates to Police Special Operations Brigade, Battalion, I should say. Now, BOPE is a special police unit within the military police. And their sole design is to combat crime in the favelas, drug dealers, etc. They are masters at up close and personal combat. Favelas are a mess. That is like CQB nightmare number one is these favelas, and they do a damn good job of going in there and clearing stuff out. These guys are pretty badasses. From everybody I've talked to who knows anything about them, they're like, oh dude, they're awesome. Like nobody had any complaints whatsoever. Now, this is actually kind of a cool time DLC because the Olympics are coming up in Brazil, and BOPE actually was instrumental in clearing out the favelas and getting crime down in those areas in preparation for the Olympics. So they're very, very well versed in the favelas and actually, you know, close quarters combat and such. Their patch is actually really awesome. Their unit patch actually has a skull. Like, they're that serious. That's why the DLC is called Skull Rain. Like, literally, they have skulls on all their vehicles, everything. Like, that's pretty fucking badass. But anyways, the new operators are out to everybody who has the Season Pass. They will be out for everybody who doesn't have the Season Pass. You'll have to buy them with the Renown soon. So don't worry, they're coming out. Along with this, the operators, there's new maps, gears, headgear. We'll cover that all in another video. We're going to talk mainly about the operators. Now, you get an attacker and a defender. Both of these are really awesome. One of them is fucking amazing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Kappa Tau. I think that's how I'm doing it, right? Now, he is the attacker. He apparently got captured and tortured, hence the eye patch. I'm not a big fan of the eye patch because usually if you lose an eye, that's kind of like a death sentence in any military. You're kind of out because you kind of need both eyes, to be honest. But anyways, he's got some pretty cool stuff. Let's go and check out his weapons here. Now, we got our next 7.62 weapon into the game, which I'm really liking. We got a Para 308 or a SA58 OSW mini Para FAL, whatever you want to call it. It is a shortened FAL. This thing is amazing. It is a 7.62. Damage is pretty good at 44. Rate of fire is pretty slow because, well, it's a 7.62. You usually don't crank those up to 900 rounds per minute unless it's a belt-fed weapon. The recoil pattern is pretty straightforward, and the mobility is actually pretty good for it. You can put a bunch of different sights onto it, lasers, suppressors. I like rolling it with a suppressor. It's pretty good. You can tap fire it pretty well to do some long-range stuff. The next weapon, I was pretty excited for this until I finally used it, is the M249 Sol. Pretty excited for it. The damage, as you see right now with my attachment, goes to 39. Rate of fire is 650, a little too slow, I would feel like, for the Sol. Like to see that cranked up a little bit. Capacity is pretty good. The recoil pattern's nice and tight. Now, once I actually used it, I kind of realized its damage is on the submachine gun level, but it seems a little worse, to be honest. I've dumped some rounds into people, and they've still run away. I much prefer the FAL. I would honestly, if you're going to use Kappa Tau, take the FAL out because it's a 7.62 weapon. You need it. It's got some power to it. Definitely want to do it. He only comes with one pistol, which is an M9. You know, it's the normal thing. But he also comes with 2 frag grenades, which is awesome and is going to be a nightmare for anybody who plays with randoms on hostage rescue because people are going to be throwing frags. I'm really excited for the frags. The frags are really good for clearing out that stubborn enemy you don't want to peek your head around and see. Now, his special move is actually a crossbow. I don't think I can see it from here. There we go. Tactical crossbow which fires asphyxiating bolts and smoke grenades. So you get 2 rounds of this asphyxiation, wow, I can't talk today, bolt, which kind of burns the air into it. It's kind of like a little, think of it as like a little flame in the area. And you get 2 bolts of actual like little smoke grenades. They're really cool. You can switch between the 2 back and forth. It's definitely a nice little aspect to kind of clear out and kind of aerial denial, but we'll talk about that more later. Let's move on to the Defender. Now this is Cavi. She is the game changer in this, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Why? She comes with 2 weapons, which is an M12. That's the Beretta little submachine gun. You can't put a grip on it, as it already comes with a grip and a suppressor. Rate of fire 550, so it's very slow rate of fire, so it's easy to kind of keep on target. Slower than all the rest, really. It seems just very, very... Damage is at 30, pretty standard for submachine guns. The recoil pattern's actually pretty damn high. I was actually very surprised about that. But it's actually a really good submachine gun. I like it. It's definitely, if you want to reach out and touch somebody, it's something to use. But the damage is still on submachine gun level without that high rate of fire. So you're going to have to go for headshots. Then we have the Spaz 15, which is the semi-automatic version, belt-fed version of the Spaz 12. Pretty cool. The rate of fire on it is pretty insane. Recoil pattern's nuts. Damage is pretty low, but let me tell you, this thing just shreds through stuff. People are going to be mad at this gun, like really, really mad. It is pretty insane at close quarters combat. And people are already starting to get tired of the shotguns, and now they're really going to be tired of it because the Spaz 15 is nuts. For her secondary weapon, we got something very special. This is Lusan. It's a special handgun only for her. Now, the damage on it is 99 for a handgun. 99. Now, that is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. And not only that, it has subsonic ammo, so it's super freaking quiet. This comes into play with her special ability, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. She also has a nitro cell and barbed wire. But where she shines is her special ability, Silent Step. Caviera's predatory stealth, the Silent Step, allows her to lurk on her prey, almost inaudible until it's too late. This is a special ability that's timed. You only get it to use it for a certain amount of time, and then it has to recharge. You are near silent. You pull out your pistol. You are near silent. You can run through the area. Nobody can really hear you until you're right up on them. And you can actually grab and interrogate people, then kill them. When you actually get a successful interrogate, it shows where everybody is on the map, kind of like if they would have went outside for a certain amount of time. This is a game changer, and we're going to talk a little bit about how each of these operators works and their special abilities and where it fits into the game. Caviera is now a game changer because we've had roamers, good classes that are roamers before, but she's on a whole different level. Roamers are kind of like the hardest thing to combat in Rainbow Six. And with her, it's almost impossible to stop. Like, this character is made to roam and get information. She is made to sit behind wherever the enemy is, grab up who she can, interrogate, and find out where the rest of the team is, giving updates on all defenders. Her Silent Step is probably the most OP ability in the game at the moment. If you pair this with a Valkyrie with cameras, she is unstoppable. If you get cameras to see the lay of the land, where people are, where they're hiding, it's really going to change the way Rainbow Six is played. You're going to have attackers that are hanging back, watching out for her, because this is the main way she's played, just hanging behind everybody, roaming around, trying to find that one person to interrogate. You're going to have an attacker actively roaming, looking for her. Because literally, she just goes through and stomps everything. She sneaks up on everybody. I was able to get behind so many people with her, it wasn't even funny. It's just an insane class with a crazy ability. And her pistol does so much damage, it's not even funny. This thing is nuts. I mean, you could single-handedly win the game playing just as Caviera. I mean, I've done it quite a few times, other than the fact that my pistol aim's terrible. I mean, it's amazing. And that's all you do, is you go around trying to find people to interrogate and just hang behind. And people have no idea where you are or what you're doing. She's definitely going to be a solo player's dream. Playing as a roamer solo is usually the way to go. The way I mainly do it. And just kind of hang back and do it. Even that, a team that can communicate very well through, like, TeamSpeak or Discord or even over game comms, she's going to be an essential piece of the team. You're going to see defenders using her almost exclusively just because of the fact that she's needed as a defender now. The ability to interrogate and find out where the entire enemy team is going to be super, super, super important. And you're going to see defenders rolling her a lot. I mean, just look at this. I mean, it shows everybody where everybody is, to the entire team. And it's super simple with her Silent Step to sneak up on people. Now, of course, Devil Dog's aim ain't that great, so it's not going to make a damn if I actually get to know where everybody is. But the good thing is your team knows where everybody is. You're going to need to use her with Valkyrie. I got to say, after playing her a little bit, having Valkyrie's cameras is a super important aspect to it. You're going to need it. You're going to need to see where you're going to make sure you don't run into, like, face first in like half the attacker team. You're going to need to find and isolate that one person to interrogate. And having multiple cameras to do so is a super important aspect, and you really, really, really do need it. But she's going to be amazing just to be able to come in and back attack people, grab interrogations and such, and just go through and stomp the attacking team. She is going to be the go-to defender. I promise you're going to see a lot of her. Pulse was mainly the roamer. Now it's going to be Caviera. She's going to be the roamer class, and it's going to be all over the place. She's going to be literally everywhere that you can imagine, and it's going to be the worst nightmare for an attacker team because they're literally just going to have to go around and find her. I mean, it's crazy, and the Spaz 15 is just an absolute monster. Now, where Kappa Tau shines, I think, is this area denial aspects. Any attacking team, you usually run into problems getting into a room, taking it, and holding it. With Kappa Tau, you have a few options to actually get in that kind of helps your team. One being the crossbow. You have 2 asphyxiation bolts, which can completely clear out a corner or a side of a room or a hallway. Plus, you actually have your 2 smoke bolts, which can use to kind of mask entrances into actual rooms and such. And then you have your 2 frag grenades, which will scatter anybody. So you basically have like 6 things to kind of get into a room and hold that room. Which is kind of an awesome aspect. Usually you get a lot of areas that are really hard to breach, to get through, and a lot of people have trouble. I mean, like here, you just pop the smoke, and you run across. So now you completely change positions, and the enemy team doesn't know, and you just keep chucking grenades, and you can get in it and hold these rooms. This is a really cool aspect. It's going to really help with team play where it comes into these hackers where there's a heavily fortified area, and you can't get into it at all. Like, there's no way you can get into it. Kappa Tau is going to be there to kind of actually get your team in there, kind of get in a foothold position, or change positions to kind of get a better position of fire. I feel like that's where he's going to shine. His saw isn't really great. The foul is pretty awesome, though. But his abilities to throw grenades and smoke and asphyxiation bolts are really going to be nice to kind of help clear out an area and push people back or even get into rooms. That's where I saw him shine. That's where I had the best success with him. And I feel like that's where the rest of the team, like everybody else who plays him, is going to use him as. So he's going to be kind of an issue for defenders. So you're going to see a lot of defending teams have problems kind of getting him out and actually getting into a position where they can defend against his smoke and bolts, because it pushes you back. Each time he throws a grenade, it pushes you back. Each time he fires a bolt, it pushes you back. And that's what's going to keep happening. So you're going to have to displace or hold your position and die. So holding a lot of these room and entrances is going to be kind of tough with Kappa Tau on the prowl. Now that's where Caviera comes into play, because she can come back through, see the action going around, move back behind everybody, and take them out. So I feel like both of these kind of counter each other a little bit. But I think as an attacker, I'm going to play Kappa Tau a lot, just based off the ability to kind of get into rooms and push people out, which I feel like is a pretty cool aspect for an attacker. And it's kind of greatly needed, because the smoke grenades only go so far, and the asphyxiation bolts really kind of show, like, hey, you're not coming in this room. Like, you can close down entire hallways with your crossbow. I mean, that's a pretty cool aspect. I haven't tried to stack your smoke with the asphyxiation bolt, but I'm pretty sure you can actually pull that off, because I think that'd be a pretty cool aspect where you fire a smoke, give it a second, and then as they're pushing in, you fire an asphyxiation bolt in there to really knock off that hallway or to kill some people. I think that would be pretty cool. But anyways, guys, I'm really enjoying the DLC. Again, if you want to check out more, check the link in the description below. Also, check out the game trailer. Pretty cool game trailer. Pretty excited for this. I want to get in with my team and actually try out some of these operators and how they work in a team aspect. But anyways, boys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.